After a 2-week summer break, NASCAR returns to one of the most popular tracks in the circuit. As we get closer to the playoffs in just 4 weeks, the battle heats up for drivers like Reddick, Dillon, and Harvick to duke it out for the final playoff spots. And after a 1-year hiatus, welcome back to Watkins Glen International in New York for the running of the Gold Bowling at the Glen. Slight cloud cover expected for today's race, but no real threat of rain in the area, only 30% chance. Temperature going to be in the mid to high 80s, wind just southwest of the racetrack 3 to 6 miles per hour, with about 53% humidity. Welcome back to another episode of MDK RaceDay. My name is Jed. Hope you're all having a wonderful morning or wonderful morning/afternoon to your Sunday day. We are back once again racing in NASCAR at probably one of the most anticipated racetracks of the circuit, Watkins Glen International. For years, it has produced constant, incredible races and fantastic finishes, and hopefully we're set for another one. Now, last weekend at New Hampshire, or I should say 2 weeks ago at New Hampshire, let's just say this. Kurt Busch's win at Atlanta dropped a bomb. Aric Almirola's win in New Hampshire dropped a freaking nuke on the playoff grid. So let's take a look at what the playoff grid looked like after Atlanta, after Kurt Busch's win. Hamlin plus 369, Harvick plus 159, and teammates Austin Dillon and Reddick 104 and 96 respectively. And then you see Chris Buescher minus 96, DiBenedetto, Chastain, and Wallace all more than 138 points behind. That was after Kurt Busch's win. Again, it was a bomb, but didn't really shake up the points that much. Aric Almirola's win, on the other hand, it shook up everything. Now we have only 3 spots that are up for grabs. Hamlin now plus 283, and Harvick, originally it looked like as though he was going to be safe. Now he doesn't have that much of a breathing room anymore, only plus 82 above the cut line. And now Tyler Reddick, who was plus 96 after Atlanta, is now just plus 5, and now has to battle his teammate Austin Dillon if he wants to stay in the playoffs. Buescher, DiBenedetto, and Chastain, they are still a lot of points behind, minus 121, 143, and 144 for those 3 drivers. They're still going to more than likely have to win if they want to make their way up to the playoff standing. Now, technically, there are 2 battles going on. There is a battle going on for the final playoff spots, but there's also a battle going on for the regular season championship, and that's something that no one is really talking about, is the battle for first place at the end of the regular season. Remember, whoever has the most points, whoever is first place at the end of the regular season at Daytona, they get an extra 15 playoff points. Denny Hamlin, although he has not won a race, and we see him in the battle to remain inside the top 16, if he wins the regular season championship, then it doesn't matter where he is in points. I mean, he can be 20th in the playoff standings, but if he's first in the regular season standings, he's going to be in. Hamlin is going to really have to look at Kyle Larson. Take a look at this graph that we put up of the previous races. We're going to go start from Richmond. Now, this was around when Hamlin's domination, or at least Hamlin's consistency, started to fall, and Larson's domination started to begin. So Richmond 135, Talladega 146, but then from here on out, Larson just eats away at Hamlin's lead. 144 for Kansas and Darlington, 134 at Dover, 110 at Circuit of the Americas. And then we go on that 3 consecutive streak at the Coke 600, Sonoma, and by Nashville, he goes from 76 points at Charlotte to just 10 points. Then at Pocono, minus 8, minus 2, Road America, minus 3. Although the past 2 races, Larson has lost some ground. Larson, he had that speeding penalty late in the race at Atlanta, and in New Hampshire just had a really, I don't want to say off day, but just didn't really show any type of speed and finished, I believe, in 9th place. But yeah, it's going to be very important for Hamlin to at least stay ahead of Larson, because let's say Larson overtakes Hamlin, and now Larson is the championship leader, and we get 2 or 3 new winners from here on out. Hamlin is now going to have to try and fight his way into the playoffs. Because think about it. Next weekend, we go to Indianapolis. We go on a road course. A lot of drivers there that could spoil the party, like a Chase Briscoe or a Matt DiBenedetto. He had a really strong car at Road America. Hell, who knows? Maybe even today at Watkins Glen, we could see a newcomer out of nowhere, spoil the party and steal a win and push himself into the playoffs. And then, of course, you have to throw in Daytona. Daytona is a whole nother can of worms, unpredictable. Literally anybody can win this race if you are in it. If you're within the lead draft, you can have a shot at winning this race. We saw William Byron last year get his first career win. Michael McDowell won the 500 back in February to lock himself into the playoffs, so anything can happen at Daytona. And if I'm Denny Hamlin, I want to make sure I am ahead of Larson so that by the time we get to Daytona, I don't have to worry about trying to fight my way into the playoffs. But regardless, it's cool to see these two battles going on. You have Harvick, Reddick, and Dillon trying to fight themselves or to keep themselves in the playoffs. Then you have Hamlin, who's technically in two battles. He has to look out for the guys behind him, like Reddick, Dillon, and those guys. But he's also got to look out for Larson in the regular season championship. And now let's move on to the starting lineup for today's Go Bowling at the Glen. On the front row is all Penske. On pole position is Brad Keselowski, who has finished second in 3 different Watkins Glen races from 2011 to 2013, and to his outside is a 2015 Watkins Glen winner of Joe Logano. Row 2 has the third Penske driver in Ryan Blaney, who finished 5th here back in 2019, and Kyle Larson best finish of 4th back in 2014. Both drivers do have wins at different road courses. Ryan Blaney was a winner at the Charlotte Roval in 2018, and Kyle Larson won here at Sonoma earlier this year. Row 3 has Kevin Harvick, who has a win here at the Glen all the way back in 2006. A decade later, Denny Hamlin also went to victory lane in 2016. They both start in row 3. Row 4 has Christopher Bell, who won here at the Daytona Road Course back in February for his first Cup Series win. He's making his Watkins Glen debut. And on the outside is the last winner from the NASCAR Cup Series. Aric Almirola starts 8th. He finished 12th back in 2019. Round out the top 10 is Mark Truex Jr., the 2017 Watkins Glen winner, and Alex Bowman in the 48 car has a best finish of 14th in 2 different races. Row 6 is the king of the road courses, Chase Elliott. He has won the last 2 Watkins Glen races, and to his outside is Ross Chastain in the 42 car, finished 27th back in 2019. Row 7 has Tyler Reddick, who's also making his Watkins Glen debut. Starts alongside Matt DiBenedetto, who has been not too shabby on the road courses. Had a great run here back at Road America earlier in July and finished 6th in 2 years ago in 2019. Row 8 has a pair of Chevys, William Byron on the inside lane, best finish of 8th in 2018. And in a 3 car, Austin Dillon. Row 9 has Kurt Busch, who has the best finish of 2nd at the Glen back in 2010. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47 car, best finish of 15th in 2019. Rounding out the top 20 is Cole Custer, another driver making his Watkins Glen debut, and 2-time winner Kyle Busch starts alongside, won here back in 2008 and 2013. Daniel Suarez in the 99 car has a really good record at the Glen with 2 top 5 finishes, including a best finish of 3rd back in 2017. And to his outside is Erik Jones in the 43 car. He finished 4th in 2019. Row 12 has Ryan Preece in the inside lane, who finished 36th in his only Watkins Glen start, and Chris Buescher in the 17 car, best finish of 11th back in 2017. Row 13 has the Daytona 500 champion Michael McDowell in the 34 car. He has a best finish of 12th back in 2017. And Bubba Wallace in the 2311 racing car starts in the 26th position. And here are the remaining 6 rows, 4 drivers in row 14. Chase Briscoe, the rookie on the inside lane, and Ryan Newman, who has the best finish of 2nd all the way back in his debut race at Watkins Glen in 2002. Corey LaJoie and Justin Haley from Spire Motorsports, row 15. Rookie Anthony Alfredo and Garrett Smithley, row 16. Kyle Tilley, Josh Bilicki, row 17. Quinn Half and James Davidson, and IndyCar driver R.C. Anderson will start this race in the 15 car in the 37th position. Now let's take a look at the odds to win at Watkins Glen. No surprise that since we're at a road course and Chase Elliott, he won the last 2 races, he's going to be your best odd to win. Plus 200 for Chase Elliott, his teammate Kyle Larson plus 450. Then you have Joe Gibbs' teammates Truex, Busch, and Hamlin 600, 750, and 1100 respectively. Joe Logano plus 1200, Bell plus 1500, Byron and Kurt Busch plus 2000, and Ryan Blaney rounds out the top 10 plus 2500. Then here are some long shots. Alex Bowman plus 2500. The pole sitter Brad Keselowski plus 3000, as well as Kevin Harvick. Tyler Reddick and Ross Chastain plus 4000. Matt DiBenedetto and Chase Briscoe plus 5000. McDowell and Suarez plus 8000. And Chris Buescher rounds out the top 20 with a plus 10,000. Okay, so what can we expect from this race at Watkins Glen? Well, let's take a look at these stages. Stage 1, Stage 2, 20 laps apiece. Stage 3 will be a 50 lapper. I believe it was adjusted from 2019 so that Stage 3 is a lot longer. I could be mistaken about that, but it's a very short race, just 90 laps. But still, Watkins Glen, if you know Watkins Glen, it's a very fast, action-packed racetrack. There is a lot of areas of the racetrack for a lot of passing opportunities, but also for some danger spots. Of course, we talk about the S's. You go really virtual, you go flat out up through the S's, but it's a very small, tight corner, and if you have one little issue or make one little mistake, you could cause a big pileup. At the inner loop, you have a long back straightaway that can be a great opportunity for drivers to get a draft off of each other, slingshot to the inside, and make a pass in the interloop. And then, of course, turn 7. We've seen a lot of great battles coming to the finish line in turn 7. Brad Keselowski and Marcos Ambrose, we've seen that battle happen there. 2016, where it was Keselowski and I think Martin Truex Jr., they took each other out for second place. There was a lot of great areas for passing opportunities and also for danger spots, and that's what makes Watkins Glen one of the most favorite racetracks on the circuit, is because of that. There's no real bad place to pass. There's no real dull spots at any part of the circuit, which is pretty rare for a road course. You know, if you look at Sonoma, there are certain parts of the track where you know you're not going to get, any exciting moments, but at Watkins Glen, any part of the track, something could happen, and that's why it's one of the favorite in NASCAR. But alright, we know how good the track is. What about the drivers? Of course, if you're a Chase Elliott fan, you're gonna love me talking about him, but you have to talk about Chase Elliott at the road course. The man is just dominating. He's just too good. He's won 6 of the last 8 road course races. He has finished inside the top 2, I think, in 6 of those 8 road course races. He has the most wins, best average finish, most top 5s, and most top 10s out of anyone since 2018, since he started his road course domination. He has won the last 2 Watkins Glen races. I think since 2018, Chase Elliott has only had 1 race outside the top 2, and that was the 21st at Daytona on the road course, but to be fair, when you look at the Daytona road course, he was leading when that caution came out for rain, and if that caution didn't come out, he more than likely would have won that race too. And for that reason, I just don't have a reason to not go with Chase Elliott, or at least to not consider that he's going to be a factor. You could say that Hendrick's in a bit of a slump. I don't see that, but you could say that. But for a track like Watkins Glen, for someone like Chase Elliott, you have to include him in the conversation to win the race. Even also throw in his teammate, Kyle Larson. He's also, look at this year, how dominating that 5 car has been on any type of racetrack, including on the road courses. He won here back at Sonoma back in June. I think also had a really good car at Road America. So you got to look out for those guys from the Chevy camp. From the Toyota camp, Joe Gibbs, they could put up a strong fight, and I think all 4 of them can put up a strong fight against Hendrick. Kyle Busch, 2-time winner. Martin Truex Jr., he runs extremely well on the road courses, as well as Denny Hamlin. And we can even throw in Christopher Bell in the mix. He won the Daytona road course back in February for his first Cup Series win. Also, not too shabby on the road courses. So you can even throw all 4 Gibbs drivers in the mix if you want to contend for the win. From the Ford camp, I have some outsiders. I don't see Harvick really competing all that well. He last won here 10 years ago. And when you look at his record at Watkins Glen, it's not that good. In 19 starts, he has only finished inside the top 5 3 times. He does have 10 top 10s, but he has an average finish of nearly 13, or 12.95 to be exact. So he's not that consistent, and I don't think, based on the speed that we've seen that 4-car show, I just don't see him excelling today. But his teammate, Chase Briscoe, on the other hand, could be a different story. We know Chase Briscoe is a really good road course racer. We saw him how he did in the Xfinity Series when he won at Indianapolis on the road course. We saw how well he ran at Road America back in July. I think he finished inside the top 5 or top 10. He can run pretty good, and I think he can spoil the party. Maybe not win, but he can definitely spoil the party in terms of having a good run, which is something that Ford team desperately needs. Another Ford driver to look at, I'm going Matt DiBenedetto. I'm just saying, I like what I've seen from the 21 camp on the road courses. Yes, we know that this season has not gone exactly the way DiBenedetto has planned, and we know with him leaving the Wood Brothers at the end of the season that his future is unknown. But I think for that reason, he's now got to prove himself that he wants to stay in the Cup Series. And he could very well use this race as an opportunity to show that. He had a really fast car at Road America, led some laps, really put up a good fight to maybe even have a shot at winning the race. Who knows? And he's also run pretty good at Watkins Glen. The last time we were here back in 2019, he was with Leavine Family Racing, and he finished 6th in the 95 car, which was really good for that team. So I think that even though the season stats might not favor DiBenedetto, I think we might need to take a look at as DiBenedetto being a dark horse in this race. A driver that nobody expects to run well, but I think he's going to put up a solid finish and maybe try and build some momentum from here on to Daytona. But even with all those drivers in contention, I have to go with Chase Elliott. I mean, come on. The guy has won the last 2 road course races at Watkins Glen. He has won 6 of the last 8 races, finished inside the top 2 in those, I think 6 or 7 of those 8 races. I mean, you have to pick him. There's no reason. Yes, Kyle Busch, Joe Gibbs, I think they can put up a fight. They can give Chase Elliott a run for his money. But if nothing happens to Chase, like if no engine problems, if he doesn't get caught up in a crash, Chase Elliott will win and will get, I think, his 3rd win of 2021. But yeah, that is going to conclude this episode of MDK Race Day. Tell me, who do you guys think is going to win in the comment section down below. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the Watkins Glen race. Should be a fun one. Until next time, my name is Jett from MDK, and I'll see y'all next time.